Good morning everybody, welcome to the Yarningham 2019 blog. For anyone that's new, hello, my name is Zoe. You can find me on Instagram and on Ravelry as pinsandneedlesuk. I will try and leave some links to things down below, but it's going to be a bit of a frantic couple of days, so you might have to look some things up yourself. It's about 8:30 in the morning. I've got the kids out to school. I was up at 5 to get Dave out the door to work. And I've started packing my bits and pieces for the show, but I have one very important job to do before I left. Look, Jim. Jim needs a walk and he is very ready to go, and I thought you might like to come with me. It's a lovely sunny warm day already. We've had beautiful weather in Wales the last couple of days, and I don't think I'm going to get much outside time over the weekend. So I'm going to get some now while I can. And of course, you've got to come. Hey, Jim, what you doing? Shall we go to the shops? Shall we go for a nap? Or shall we go for walkies? Yeah! Come on then, Jim. Go on. Out you go. I'm sorry, Jim. I'm sorry, Jim, but you can't come. I don't think there's any dogs allowed at Yarningham, and you're terrible at driving. But it's okay, you'll have Dave and the boys all weekend. Jim, you're ignoring me now, aren't you? Okay.
Double glasses. Oh, I do look cool.
Yeah, we're
sunglasses.
both doubled up with sunglasses over normal glasses, because we're both too tight to buy prescription sunglasses.
What? 150 quid?
I know. And I bought these years ago and they fit over mine, which is fine. She deliberately chose those to go over her glasses, so
I really don't catch.
they've got side bits.
They've got side bits. So I've got side windows like my car.
Yeah.
So that, yeah,
So,
they're fab.
yeah.
They go right over my glasses. I don't have bits coming in.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And obviously look super cool.
Yeah. And they weren't 150 quid.
Also true.
So more money for wool.
Yeah. Now we've got approximately 2 minutes before my entire face goes scarlet and peels off in the sunshine. Oh, that's... We found a picnic table under a tree, and one end was in the sun for her and one was in the shade for me, and then the sun moved.
Well, it wasn't that I needed it to be in the sun, it's that there was one corner in the shade and I thought we'd put the ginger in it, wouldn't we?
Probably better had.
Yeah.
Anyway, on our way up to my mum's for Yarningham.
Hurrah!
I was thinking
It's one of my
this is-
favourite ones.
This is the 4th show, isn't it? And we've done every one. First 2 were in Sturchley Baths, and then last year and this year in the Ofcom Centre. And it's a lovely show. It's not the largest show in the world, but it's really nice.
It's densely populated with good people.
Yeah, and I was thinking we met lots of people that are now our friends at the first
Yeah.
year. So
Like
Joe of Joan It's So. Oh, Ruth, of course.
With her skirt.
With her parrot skirt. And, Grace of Beyond Measure. Because if you remember, she had the stand next to ours the first year.
Yeah.
And when it was 104 degrees, you made her a cardboard fan because we had stiffer paper than she did in our stationery box.
I'm good like that.
So now we're friends for life.
Yeah. Saved her from heat stroke.
Yeah, well, it was a close run thing. they get the best weather.
They do.
Literally every single year, it's been almost record-breaking.
If anybody wants to go on holiday in the Midlands,
Plan
or
it
get
around
married
Yarningham.
in the Midlands, yeah, choose Yarningham weekend.
Because I reckon it's about 25 today, give or take.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're just tootling up to my mum's house because she lives not far from Birmingham, so she very kindly puts us up. And we've stopped for our lay-by picnic. What did you have?
I had a pastrami salad sandwich made by my son.
Nice.
And an apple. And an apple.
And I had chicken and rice and mixed roast veg.
And a wagon wheel.
And, no I didn't, a jammy
A
wagon
jammy
wheel.
wagon wheel.
The addition of the jam elevates it. It really is spectacular. I'm hoping that the chocolate coating on a jammy wagon wheel is not enough to set my stomach off.
Didn't even think of that.
Well,
That's not
neither did
that
I until I'd
much.
taken a gobful and I thought,
You don't care enough.
it's totally worth it.
Oh, there's plenty of services. We'll be fine.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
And the sad thing is, I don't think I need a wee, which is a shame because they've got all-in-one sink combined hand washers.
Do you not have sticky fingers?
Unfortunately not,
My
no.
fingers feel a little sticky.
Maybe you should do the loo review.
Oh, I don't know. That's a great responsibility.
There's pressure behind it, isn't there?
I know.
I'm sat thinking I'm not feeling funny today.
No, I never feel funny. I might look funny, but I don't feel
I think it's the
funny.
glasses.
Yeah.
Right. I think we should probably get cracking.
I think I need to get you out of the sun.
Yeah.
And I feel myself
Starting to burn.
cooking now. And if I'm cooking, it's hot.
Well, that's why I'm in a long sleeve shirt.
You've got your legs out.
Like an extra for the English patient.
But you've got your legs out.
I have
so
got my
that
legs out. Yeah, first time since 2018. Oh, well, hopefully it'll be a smooth journey up to Mum's because the first half was a bit stop and go through the tunnels, wasn't it? And it'd be nice to just get there and chill out.
I completely missed it all. I was on Instagram reading people's posts.
Yeah, guess she's
Doing the
driving.
driving this time.
Yeah,
I get to live the high life.
you do. I'll be your chauffeur.
Yeah.
Okay, to the party bus.
Right then, James. Onward.
Evening. I meant to do a bit more chatting with Jenny, but we just ran out of time. Took us quite a while to get here. There was lots of traffic everywhere on the roads. And then when we arrived, we settled down and watched the Wimbledon semi-final. It was Federer versus Nadal, so it was a thrilling game. And Jenny span, and I did a bit of knitting, and hopefully I'll have put a bit of footage of that in earlier. And then my dad went out and bought us all fish and chips for tea. And then Jenny and I went for a really nice walk up the hills. It was cool and it was green and it smelt lovely. And it was really good to be moving again, having been sat down so long today. And now it's time for bed. We've got an early start in the morning. My alarm is set for 6. Well, that's not early. That's the normal getting up time for me. But we want to get to the venue nice and early so that we can park as close as possible and crack on with setting up. Okay, I need to get some sleep. I'll see you in the morning.
driving.
Dead pigeon.
So Zoe's driving.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Unfortunately, she's having to chauffeur me for the weekend after a change in medication last minute, which is unfortunate, but nice for me. I get to look at the scenery.
And this way I don't feel travel sick, so everybody wins.
Oh, there we go. I just didn't want you to be knackered more than usual.
I'm always knackered. It's fine.
So I'm holding the selfie stick, so I apologise very much for wobbling. But we're on our way to Yarningham.
Whoop, whoop.
I think didn't you work out this is the 4th time?
Yes, it is. We've been at every single one since the start.
Yeah.
You've got to love it. Sarah and Helen organise it, are fabulous. And we had dinner with them in Edinburgh, not last year, the year before.
Yeah.
And that was really nice because
it really was.
we see them at the show, don't we? But they're always so busy because they look after their vendors so well.
Yeah.
That it's just a quick wave, do you need anything? And then they're off again. So it was lovely to have a chat around.
Yeah, no, it was really good. So looking forward to seeing them. And like you said yesterday, lots of people that we've made friends with because of Yarningham, who we'll see today. And it's a beautiful
that's
day.
Assuming that we don't die because of this absolute insert expletive of choice, driving 2 metres from my back bumper. So if we don't make it, I love you guys. Thanks for everything.
And this will be used in court.
Yes. Yeah, just change the angle a bit so that you can get his number plate.
That's all right. My rear view camera is on
yes. I've forgotten about your rear view camera.
Yeah, people enjoy driving very close to my car where I live. So I've got dash cams on my car and a rear view camera.
It really is. Are you going the other way?
So, there we go.
Oh, there you go.
Excellent. We may live to tell the tale.
Wow. Oh, he's pulling in front. That's good. I can keep my eye on him now.
Yeah. Just let him zoom off ahead.
Maybe he is desperate to get to Yarningham too, and he wants to be at the front of the queue to get the good stuff.
Maybe he saw the post about all the cake yesterday. Did you see the cake posts?
I did see the cake post. They look really good.
Yeah. She's not eating the cake so much at the moment, so
I'm trying to be good.
I'll be sneaking off and eating cake when she's not looking. Yeah, so we're all set.
Yeah. We're wearing yesterday's scruffy, already slightly sweaty clothes so that we can do all of the unloading. And then Mum gave us a packet of baby wipes, so we're going to have a good rub down in the ladies.
And then put smart clothes on.
And then put nice clothes on, because it's going to be another belter, isn't it?
Yeah. And I always get unnecessarily sticky when I'm unloading anyway, because it's a little bit stressful. And there's a definite deadline. And it's hot.
And it's 12 sheets of grid wool, which weighs a lot.
Well, we have a trolley this year.
We do? So that does make a difference.
Zoe trolley is going to make it a little bit better.
Yeah.
But yeah, that journey yesterday was a little bit long.
3 hours. Madness.
Just queues everywhere.
Did you sleep last night?
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Yes. I did stay up for a while after you went to bed though.
Yeah.
Zoe went to bed at a reasonable time. And I knew there wasn't a lot of point in me going to bed at that time because I'd only sit up reading and not sleep anyway. So I spun.
Oh, did you?
Yes. I did more Tour de Fleece. I got loads of spinning done yesterday. It was lovely.
There was enough space in the car to pack Jenny's wheel, so we did.
Yeah, there was just a spinning wheel sized gap once we put everything in.
Sweet.
I reckon that's the Cartref we sold.
Okay, you do speaking, I've got to do roundabouts.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we're both doing Tour de Fleece this year. Zoe's borrowed one of my spindles. Although I don't ever use it, so when we say borrowed, you know, keep it as long as you want.
Okay.
Because it may as well get used. Kind of like pearls, it will be happier if it's used. Worn. So I've been spinning up some deep stash Sarah's Texture Crafts. Oh, I'll put this down. That's better.
Turn left towards exit 15, then slight left onto exit 15.
good.
Thank you, Caroline, GPS lady.
Yeah, so
Oh, sorry.
I
Slightly more cornery. Brace yourselves.
hurrah!
Sorry, what?
Fibre.
Yes.
Stash.
Yes.
I finished spinning my first.
Oh, you finished the whole
I
thing?
finished, and I started flying.
Blimey. Are you not
I-
supposed to let the single sit for a bit?
Yeah, but I did 2 bobbins because I had 150 grams.
And you chain
So
flying, so you...
I chain flying, so I started the first bobbin with the chain flying.
How's it looking?
Pretty
Is
nice.
it coming out at 4-ply like you wanted?
Maybe a little heavier in places, but it's going to be a short, so I don't mind. But yeah, so I'm really excited about that, and that means I'm going to get to choose different fibre to spin, and I brought 2 to choose from.
I'll do ibble obble when we get home.
Yes. There was nearly a loo review yesterday.
Almost.
So where we stopped for lunch in the posh lay-by with the benches, there was a loo, but neither of us needed it, and I was just going to go amble round, and then I looked and it was all metal doors and not pleasant. One of those things where everything's in the one place and you just keep your hands still and everything happens. Soap and water and dryer, and if you're not dry quick enough then soap again. So
I could be there forever in an endless cycle.
Exactly. And I'd seen a lot of people coming out just sort of wafting their hands around and wiping on their trousers. So I decided I didn't want to review that loo, and yeah.
Probably for the best.
Yeah. But did Grace tag you in the hand dryer review?
Irish hand dryers.
Yes.
Irish hand dryers or something.
On Instagram.
I think she messaged me, so I'll see if I can put it on the screen. That cracked me up.
Yeah. Very in-depth reviews of hand dryers in
In
bathrooms.
the Republic of Ireland.
Yeah. And the joy you feel when you walk in and you see a high-powered one that's going to take 3 seconds rather than something that's sort of buffing on your hands. And
You end up using your trousers anyway.
yes.
Oh well. Ooh,
Right.
Dog unit man. Dogs. We
We
might be
can't-
missing our dogs. We went for that
Yeah.
nice walk yesterday evening. Oh, send me that photo and I can put the photo in earlier.
Yes.
And there was dogs and we missed our dogs.
Oh, and there's some beautiful dogs as well.
Yeah.
Lots of golden retrievers and Labradors and a beagle. The beagle was very nice.
Beagle was nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, missing my dogs.
But Jim doesn't watch.
No, Molly doesn't watch either, so there's no point in saying hello to her. She gets very confused because my kids like it when I video call, so I'll ring up and they'll try and show her the screen with my face on it and get her to talk to me, and she doesn't look at the screen.
No.
And then if I go, Molly, and she sort of looks around and she's all, what?
Not the sharpest tool in the box.
Bless her. She hasn't found her brain cell yet, that's what it is. She's only 9 months old.
Well,
She's got time.
Jim will be turning 7 this year and still hasn't found that brain cell. So I wouldn't hold your breath.
Oh, I do miss her.
They'll be fine without us.
Yes. Yeah, they'll be fine.
I'm pretty sure Jim would have snuck up the stairs, hopped on the bed and curled up next to Dave, because he does that. He waits until about 6, and if we're not up yet, he slinks upstairs and he packs himself. He lays out really long all the way hard down your side and huffs in your ears.
Oh God, with how hot you tell me Dave sleeps, he's
Yeah.
gonna absolutely roast.
All you need is a fat Labrador.
No, well, Molly won't do that, but because I suspect she won't get a chance, because A, baby gates,
Yes.
but B, Erin does that.
Ah,
So she will already have snuck into my side of the bed,
yeah.
because I'm not there. So yeah, I dare say I'll hear about that later on from my husband. Yeah.
Oh,
lovely place.
It's a really nice place.
It's got those tiles that make you think as if you're going up and feel as if there's steps, and there's not steps.
Oh, I've forgotten about those. Well, be careful.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll check in later with pretty things.
Bye.
We're all arrived at the Uffculme Centre. This used to be owned by the Cadbury family, and they lived in this house. This is their family home until I think 1902, I want to say. I'm not sure what happened to it then, but it's ended up being owned by the NHS. But it's a lovely building. Pretty Victorian tiles everywhere. And I was rather pleased to see that. Isn't that fabulous? So everyone's going like the clappers. There's Stitch Solihull. Give us a wave. I need to come and buy another Panda stitch marker, stitch clicker thing.
Did you click
Yeah.
the other one to death?
I have a bit. Borada. Everyone doing all right?
Yeah, not so bad. How are you?
Good. I'm good. Look at all the beautiful yarn. They're in the same spot as last year, and it's just lovely. I'll come back and take another picture when it's all filled up. But you can see lots of the original architecture is still here. Some people got here and set up yesterday because they're super keen, but we rocked up first thing this morning. Ooh, Hey J hand-dyed yarns. Look at the funky colours. Some beautiful tweed. Ooh, and some sort of knobbly bobbly slub yarn. That's pretty. I like that. Morning! Home Farm Wensleydales. Oh, look at the hats. Aren't they pretty? Wensleydale is the most beautiful fleece. So if you're a spinner, this would be lovely to work into some of your spins. Oh, and you've got some of the undyed natural as well. Look at that. So yes, if you're taking part in Tour de Fleece, Home Farm Wensleydales has some smashing stuff.
What's the best one you've done? I think well, yeah, I mean, you've had
Oh, and this is Snuggly Stars. There we are, look. Some really beautiful colours from Snuggly Stars. And sock blockers as well, for only £8, which I think is pretty reasonable. Into the conservatory, which sounds very posh. Rachel, it's Cat and Sparrow. We always end up being neighbours one way and another. How are you doing?
Yes, good. How are you?
I'm good. Have you got the aircon in here?
We have it. I don't know if it's on yet.
Sounds like it's on. I might come and visit you a lot. We don't have aircon. Yeah, I think we will. It's lovely, Kelly. Warning, you're being filmed. I'm good. How are you doing?
Very well.
Looking lovely. Oh, look at the sock column. Wow. If Kelly has any yarn left after today, you should definitely go online and buy some of it. And you've got floof as well. Is that the alpaca? The Suri alpaca?
Yeah.
So if you're not a mohair wearer, you can try that instead.
I prefer that one personally.
It's lovely. Oh, and look, you've got locks instead of a pom-pom on a hat. I was just looking at Home Farm Wensleydales, and they've got locks on their stand, and that's a really good idea.
Oh gosh, who was it? Annie Warren.
Annie Warren, okay. Fab. Oh, and you've got your samples up as well. That's a Boylan Knitworks
Maritimo.
Maritimo. That's lovely.
Not knit by me, my lovely friend Deb.
Oh, that's good. And there's the rest of Team Lay Family Yarns. Famous now.
Until the cafe is open.
We got Bryn and Marcus.
Hello.
Oh. Don't wanna
He's
be on
upset
TV.
because the cafe is not open.
Oh, soon, my friend. And it's Becky Ribbonets. Hello. Still busy setting up, but she's very sensible and puts everything in crates so you can whack it up in 2 seconds flat.
Yeah.
Have you got anything new and exciting? Or something you'd just like to show us?
We've got lots of lovely Wensleydale wool
Ooh,
and
very slightly fuzzy. You've not had that long, have you?
not that long. And people will be able to come and see and feel this, which is knitted in it.
That's the Tin Can Knits
The Love Notes.
Love Notes.
Yeah.
So that's 2 different colours of it held together and just
Yeah.
one for the yoke.
Yeah.
That's lovely. Which colourways is that?
It's the sapphire
Yeah.
and the copper.
Ooh. It's looking a little pink on my camera, but that's definitely a proper
'Cause
brownie
copper
gold.
is actually quite. It leans
copper, huh?
pink.
Yeah,
Yeah, proper copper.
proper copper. It's just coming out as a bit peachy on my phone.
Yeah.
Oh, fabulous. Well, keep arranging. Oh, and great minds think alike. That's another Lithuanian linen Tegna.
Yes.
She's gone pink. I've gone green. I'm not risking putting mine on yet. See you later. Spinning wheels. Hello, how are you doing, lovely lady?
I'm half asleep.
Oh, I'm all right. I think we're all still a little bit asleep. Oh, and you've got all your pins and your sinister cardigan patterns.
Those things, and my new button display.
You got a new button display. I need to see that.
I should have been packing for here. See?
Oh, that's a good idea.
See? And recyclable, biodegradable, etc. No plastic
Excellent.
is used in the making of this button display.
Oh, and they're themed. Zoo, cat, toggles, rainbows. Brilliant.
Yeah, I think you can't quite see some of the buttons, so I might have to work on that bit.
Wow, every little helps. Oh, and the cat pins. Look.
You meet the new ones.
Yeah.
There's like Team Cat
Oh, yes.
and Team Dog.
Well, I'm stating for the record, Team Dog.
Sorry, you're wrong.
Oh. But lovely Jim the dog.
Dogs. Yeah, see?
I'm sorry. What now? I mean, cats are nice, but they're not dogs.
Thank goodness they're not dogs.
Oh my
Dogs are
goodness.
so needy and picky.
Cats are such colossal arse.
You need to be taking them for walks.
I know, dogs are good for your mental health. This is rather lovely.
The dry candy is
Yes.
I know it's happening.
But mostly I want to make sure I show people Banshee yarns.
They're all upside down. I must put them all right.
It's
Honestly,
fine.
I'm like, why are my own labels upside down? Like, I'm trying to.
Isn't it stunning? Now, it was Sam Draws Things that did your logo. She did ours as well for Cartref. She's
she amazing?
fabulous. Look at the colours. I love that you've got some sort of semi-solids and tonals.
That's what it is. I couldn't die. Like, that's what I would use for.
And speckles and things are lovely, but every now and then you need a solid to go with them. Yeah, or in a shawl or...
Yeah, I'm going for like it's just. Plus, everybody else is better at speckles than I would ever be.
No, refuse to believe that. None of us are ever going to be as good as Kelly, but that's okay. Oh, and you've got all your fabulous notions.
Yes, I bought them. I thought I'd bring a whole set.
Bring everything.
Yeah.
Also, this is all available online once she's back home afterwards. Just FYI. Okay, so I've come to the Yarningham stand where you can buy some of their fabulous bags and raffle tickets for wonderful prizes. Look at all the prize donations from the stall holders. Oh, Ribbonits gave minis. How lovely. And then this is part of Team Yarningham. This is the very lovely Venetia. And I had to do a little zoom in on your skirt. That would be lovely. Let me stand back a bit and I can get you all in shot. Look at that. So tell me about your skirt.
Well, this is something that I've machine knitted. Well, not all hand knitters here, but I do that as well. Yeah, so quite simple, really. Just knitted a length, and then I've pleated it just to create the waistband.
Oh, so you've got elastic in the waistband on top.
Yeah.
Your own pattern design, or?
Yeah, just completely improvised, really. Yeah.
Making it up as you went along?
Well, I had a vague idea of what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of did it and hoped that it would be right.
And luckily, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
And you said that the yarn was acrylic.
Yeah, it's just acrylic, yeah.
But you killed it with steam, so it's gone really nice.
It's gone really flat and smooth, yeah.
Really soft, and it drapes so beautifully as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, thank you for chatting to us about that. That's fabulous. Do you just help Yarningham on the day, or?
I do help with like picking vendors and little bits like in the prep and stuff like that beforehand. So it's Sarah, Lil and Helen who do the main grunt work. Yeah. But they just call me when they need me and I come.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah.
And is it nice to come on the day and see it all come together?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Yeah, and it's nice that you get regular vendors coming back. You get a nice mix of new people and old faces.
Yeah, we always try and mix it up. We always try and see if we can get someone new in, so it's not just the same thing all the time, yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, well, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
We've come to Star City in Birmingham. It's about a 20-minute drive from the Ufcombe Centre, and some of the vendors that we're friends with are organising a curry, and there's like an all-you-can-eat buffet curry place, and it was a bit hairy getting here because of stupid men driving Audis, but we're going to go and eat our feelings now, so it'll be fine. It'd be nice to chat to people over dinner rather than snatched conversations during the actual day. And I like a curry. You like curry, don't you?
Masala chips, I'm still intrigued.
Yeah, we need to find out what masala chips are. But it looks like quite a nice complex. It's got a big cinema, and there's a soccer centre and all sorts of things. So yeah, that's where we're going. We don't know how to pronounce it. Z-A-U-Q. Zauk? Zach? Not sure. But yeah, it looks nice. It is day 2 of Yarningham. The weather is a little cooler and greyer today. And the marketplace seems a bit busier. Apparently yesterday was the local guild's jolly and the Moseley Folk Festival, so that's why it was a little bit quieter. But today we've got cricket and a Grand Prix and the men's final at Wimbledon, so we'll see how the day goes. And it occurred to me, I didn't show you the stand. Jenny's got some fun new pins in, which I think are quite smart. There's a little knitty basket one. We'd nearly sold out of quite a few of them. They had some that said knitter on the front. That I like. Procrastinator. And yeah, it's been quite busy today. That's all Jenny's squishy DK. I sold a couple of skeins of this morning, and this is Jenny's Tibetan owl, so it's got yak and silk in it. And merino. It's beautifully soft. And then lots of sparkles. And Jenny is doing her best to promote spinning fibre. She brought her Ashford Traveller with her today, and she's been spinning away. And you're turning into the child catcher, because every time I turn around, there's a handful of small children with enormous eyes going, oh! So what is it you're spinning at the moment?
I'm spinning Polworth, and this is Deep Stash. and it's from On the Round, which is an American company.
Oh,
And
nice.
I remember seeing it somewhere online years ago and thinking, I must have that. And 'cause it's very rarely that I'll buy from overseas because of postage and
Imports and...
yeah, but this just really called to me. So it's been sitting, thinking about what it wanted to become for probably 3 or 4 years.
You can't rush these things.
No. And that's what I'm starting to do.
I think this might be an excellent sales tactic for the future. I think having you spinning away is going to be good for business. There we go. Okay, Yarningham is over for another year. I didn't do a great deal of recording today, and this is a slightly awkward end.
We don't feel that we can be our usual flippant, funny selves, even though we are sat in Gloucester services.
Looks like Hobbiton.
Amazing.
Overall, we had a fantastic time at the show.
I met so many lovely people that I hadn't met before, and I thought I already had loads of lovely yarny friends.
Lots of old friends, lots of new friends. Yarningham is one of our favourite shows, and it will continue to be one of our favourite shows. And we're friends with the organisers, Sarah and Helen and Lilith we met more of today, and Venetia, who I think is part of the volunteer element of it.
Yeah.
They're a fabulous team, and they work incredibly hard to put on one of the most professional and accepting and transparent yarn shows on the circuit.
Yeah, and they really care. They're constantly checking that the vendors are all right. They're in touch regularly in the run-up. We get newsletters, really regularly to make sure that we know all that we need to know.
But this year Yarningham took place very shortly after Nathan Taylor, the sockmatician, put up an Instagram post, which you may or may not have seen, calling for everybody to discuss the diversity and inclusivity issue with respect. And if you have a look at that original post, there is a great deal to be disagreed with, and I disagree with his post. Your opinion on that post?
I had to read it a couple of times before I could see what was wrong, because initially, being completely honest from a position of white privilege, I just sort of skim read it and thought, oh, he's being nice, and like, okay. And then I saw a couple of comments, and that made me really properly think and realise, actually, no, this is not right. It isn't just that there were twee little words, but
there was incredible tone policing in there.
Yeah.
An attempt to silence people of colour. And it's not our place to go through that post. If you want to form your own opinions, please go and read it.
But it's the subsequent handling and responses from Nathan
and his husband. And the long and short of it was, after a great deal of controversy surrounding that, and a great deal of censure and unpleasantness, Nathan had previously agreed to turn up at Yarningham to
signed a contract.
Signed a legal contract to come to Yarningham to do a couple of classes and a signing of his new book, and also to sell some of his yarn. And he turned up, which surprised a lot of us. And there was a very unpleasant to witness incident with one of the yarn vendors, which I witnessed because our stand was next to Nathan's, and it was incredibly unpleasant to be a part of. The lady concerned was incredibly upset and impassioned, and had been personally attacked on the internet in connection to this post from Nathan even though I believe she had not commented on it herself. Her inbox was full of people commenting.
Yeah, the sort of people like you posts and comments.
Yeah. And so she came to state her opinion.
Fabulous.
And it quickly disintegrated into name calling and finger pointing, and it was quite aggressive on Nathan's part. And I felt compelled to step in to help Helen and Sarah deal with it. Now, I would like to make it clear that Yarningham was contractually obliged to honour that commitment with Nathan's teaching. I'm sure they will be issuing a statement at some point, but they need a bit of time.
It's been a hell of a week.
It is my understanding that Nathan had a choice about attending, and that he decided to go through with it, and as such Yarningham, I think, I don't want to put words in Yarningham's mouth, but it is my understanding that he had the option to not attend. He chose to attend, and as such they felt that they were obliged to honour the class commitment for his attendees, and they were with him at all times, and the minute this incident began they were already there, and they worked very hard, very calmly, very professionally to try and deal with that situation, deal with the lady who was so upset, quite rightly so.
Yeah, they really took time to make sure that she was all right. They spent a lot of time with her afterwards as well, because I saw that.
Yeah, and I was with Sarah and the lady, and it was deeply unpleasant, and I'm not sure what I really want to say here, just that I want to make it clear that I fundamentally disagreed with the content and tone of Nathan's original post, although I have not commented on it myself. I was appalled by the involvement of his husband, and I was concerned when he turned up at Yarningham. I believe that the organisers of Yarningham are wonderful people. For anyone that doesn't know, Sarah is herself a person of colour, and I believed that they acted as professionally as one could in that situation. Like I said, I don't want to speak on their behalf at all. They are adults and businesswomen, and they will make their position clear, hopefully very soon. But I support Yarningham. I count the organisers as friends, and we very much hope to be back there next year.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I would hate for their festival to be negatively affected by this, and it's a shame that it happened. But
it really is. It was just so unprofessional of him.
Yeah. But these are uncomfortable conversations, and it's okay to be uncomfortable. I think white people need to be uncomfortable about this. And from a personal point of view, I continue to listen and to learn, and I believe that people of colour should be able to express themselves without white people telling them how to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I hope that if and when, most likely, I do something wrong, you'd let me know. And
ditto.
And I hope if I ever say anything out of place, other people would let me know, although I don't expect them to educate me. But we all make mistakes. What matters is how you handle them. And this entire situation could have been avoided.
It's been a complete fiasco, start to finish.
If Nathan had just acknowledged his mistake, been grateful for the opportunity to do better, and done better.
But from what we witnessed, he still doesn't appear to think he made a mistake.
No. And that's a big problem.
Yeah. Because we felt that we knew him. We've seen him plenty of times. I've attended one of his workshops. You know, knew him well enough to chat with him when I saw him, and so it's very disappointing.
It's revealing.
Yeah.
So that happened. It was unpleasant. all I can hope is that it will be an example for the rest of us of what not to do.
Yes.
And I hope that Helen and Sarah and Lilith can move forward. And that's about it, really.
Yeah.
And, you know, people might ask why they let him attend. You know, were they aware they were providing an unsafe space for people of colour, knowing that he was coming, having been aware? And all I can say was it was a very desperate situation. If Nathan was actually in hospital, I'm not sure how they could have contacted him to sort anything out. But I feel they did the best they could in a very volatile and unpredictable situation. And I wish them all the best in sorting out whatever fallout there will be.
Yeah. I hope to God there isn't any, but it's probably inevitable if people get the wrong end of the stick.
Yeah. So all I can say is if you come across social media regarding this issue, I would respectfully ask that you read and you think before you comment.
Yeah, just maybe
Just take a moment.
avoid knee-jerk reactions,
Yeah.
if possible.
So
Yeah.
maybe we'll get a flurry of comments on this, I don't know, but we felt we needed to say something. And I don't comment a great deal on posts regarding this because I don't feel I have the knowledge or the experience to have the right to an opinion, and I often feel that other people have already said my opinion better.
But we had a long conversation about this morning, didn't we? And,
Yeah.
and that we don't want to be complicit in any sort of discrimination or
Silence supports the status quo.
Yeah.
And in
so
this
we need to
instance,
stand up, and we need to step forward and say, right,
that's not what we think.
this is not okay. This is absolutely wrong.
And, you know, this is one thing that we can speak on because we were there and it was unpleasant. But yeah, but Yarningham is a great show. The organisers are fabulous. We have a huge amount of respect for them.
Almas was... Oh. Can you edit that bit out?
Yeah.
Thank you. The lady involved was surrounded by friends shortly thereafter, and you know, all the vendors from around were coming and chatting with her, hugging her,
Making sure she was okay.
yeah, and just she had messages from people who weren't even there. Once they'd seen it on social media, they were sending messages, are you all right, are you all right?
Yeah.
And it's just she had a lot of support. She wasn't left on her own.
Yeah. And interestingly, neither was Nathan. Yeah. Anyway, so that was a thing and it happened, and that's what we think about it.
So it's a little more subdued then to your podcast than our vlogs usually would be.
That's okay. It was an important thing.
Yeah, definitely.
I will be moderating the comments on this. If there is any unpleasantness, please bear in mind that I do sleep and also work. So if there is a slight delay in me needing to deal with anything, that might well be it. I think we're going to go and have some dinner.
Yep.
Thank you very much for watching. Bye.
Bye.